Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I got a whopper for you. And please follow this entire video. This has everything to do with an adoption attorney out of Dallas, Texas, and also her relationship with at least two incarcerated female inmates and wanting to adopt their babies. So yes, these inmates were pregnant, and she was trying to set up a situation to adopt and take their babies. And there has this certain chasm in this storyline where does this sound like bribery? Could there possibly be infant human trafficking involved in this? Possibly. But there are several questions on why this adoption attorney was having this ongoing financial relationship with at least 2 to 3 inmates who were pregnant with babies, and the attorney wanted to adopt them and even attempted to bully them into adopting and giving their babies away to this attorney. So please watch this entire video and please follow it. And I've got to raise my glasses up because this is a very strange story. I try to give you unique storylines and videos that may not come across your TV or your phone, just to raise our awareness that there are a lot of things that are going on in this country and around the world. And this is right here in Texas. So let's go. An adoption attorney threatened Texas inmate who wouldn't sell her baby after a $846 commissary payment, and then the attorney gets arrested. The Texas attorney, who was arrested on charges of attempting to buy the unborn children of Tarrant County inmates who led an adoption agency and whose accreditation for international services was canceled in 2019. Adoption attorney Jody Hall, 68, a Texas-based family and immigration attorney, was booked into the Hays County Jail on July 23rd on 2 Tarrant County warrants, the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office said Thursday. The warrants were served at Hall's home in Kyle, Texas, about 20 miles south of Austin. She faces 2 felony charges of sale or purchase of a child. Yes, a child, not a car, not a house. Authorities began investigating the lawyer and her business, Adoption International Inc., on May 28th in connection to unethical adoption practices. Detectives discovered Hall was paying money to pregnant Tarrant County inmates so they would place their unborn children up for adoption through her agency, according to the sheriff's office. In an arrest warrant affidavit obtained by the Fort Star Telegram, a detective wrote that Hall paid more than $800 into one woman's jailhouse account, and the payment stopped when the woman changed her mind about giving up her child. Hall called the woman a scammer and threatened to talk to the prosecutor over the woman's case in text messages reviewed by the detectives, the affidavit says. Attorney Hall graduated from the University of Texas, Austin with a degree in government before going on to study law at Texas Tech in the 1980s, according to her LinkedIn profile. Before founding Adoptions International, Hall worked as legal counsel for Medicare Management, Inc., a medical cost management company. Adoptions International was founded in 1995 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, according to the agency's website. More than 1,200 children have been placed in loving homes through Hall's business, the website says. The website goes on to describe Hall as an expert in immigration and legal aspects of the international adoption process, who is actively involved in each and every adoption case they handle. She said, "We are for the family that wants an agency that is committed to provide individual, ethical, professional, and transparent adoptions for each and every family," the website says. Remember those words. She wants to provide ethical, professional, and transparent adoptions. Now let's follow the story and see the hypocrisy. The agency also sought to adopt children from many foreign countries, including Ghana, Sierra Leone, Macedonia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the website reads. However, the cancellation of the agency's accreditation blocked Hall's business from providing services for international adoptions. The accreditation of Adoptions International was canceled in August 2019 for failing to maintain substantial compliance with accreditation standards, according to the Inter-Country Adoption Accreditation and Maintenance Entity, which is designed by the U.S. State Department to accredit agencies. Her suspension, this is the attorney, Hall, her suspension from international adoptions came after Hall was arranging adoptions in 2019 involving mothers being flown in from the Marshall Islands through Hawaii in defiance of a treaty between the two nations, according to Hawaiian publication Civil Beat. Attorney Hall wrote to prospective adoptive parents that it was legal to pay for women from the Marshall Islands to fly to the U.S. for adoptions, which conflicts with the laws outlined by the Marshallese government and the IAAME, according to the Civil Beats report. In the Tarrant County investigation, Hall began speaking with female inmates and provided deposits into their commissary accounts in exchange for acquiring their unborn children for adoption purposes, according to the arrest warrant. Her communication with inmates showed she would send adoption packets and provide financial support for inmates on the assumption that they would not scam her, the warrant reads. In text messages to one inmate's jail-issued tablet, Attorney Hall asked the woman to put her in contact with the child's father to have him sign a document giving up his parental rights. The detective wrote that Attorney Hall also sent a message to the inmate that said, "I don't need birth moms that lie to me just to get financial support, and I can't give you any more if he's not willing to sign the paperwork." This is the father of the baby. That means he wants the baby if he is the father. Transactions show the 29-year-old incarcerated woman, received a total of $846 from Attorney Hall. She stopped receiving payments, the inmate, on May 6th after she decided to keep the baby. The detective wrote in the affidavit. In another message, Attorney Hall called the inmate a liar, a drug addict, and a scammer, threatening to tell the prosecutor over the woman's case that she scammed the prospective family who wanted to adopt her unborn child. According to Texas state law regarding the charge of a sale or purchase of a child, a person violates the law if they offer or agree to accept a thing of value for the delivery of the child for the purposes of adoption. The placement of a child for adoption is only permitted through law-authorized child-placing agencies, according to the law. Fees can be paid to attorneys, social workers, mental health professionals, or physicians for services in the adoptive process, such as legal or adoption counseling and medical practice. The Texas Penal Code states, payments to parents or guardians are also permitted if they are part of a reimbursement of legal or medical expenses incurred by a person for the benefit of the child, or a necessary pregnancy-related expense paid by a child-placing agency for the benefit of the biological parent during and or after the birth of the child, as outlined by the Department of Protective and Regulatory Services. According to the arrest warrant, investigators believe that the money Attorney Hall sent to inmates was not for necessary pregnancy-related expenses and not allowed by law. Violation of this law constitutes a third-degree felony. So, this adoption attorney, this 68-year-old woman who was trying to adopt at least 1 to 2 pregnant female inmates' babies while they were still pregnant with them. The attorney's name is Jody Hall, 68, claims she's been involved in this business for a long time. But the weird thing is, most of the time, and think about it, 99% of adoption situations are with people that are free. This seems to be crossing the line of professionalism, trust, where she is trying to, over a jailhouse tablet, jailhouse phones, where all of that is recorded. You have an entire history that is logged in that police, the prosecutors, any of our state agencies can take a look at. And this attorney, Miss Jody Hall, that's 68, is basically bullying and trying to extort these pregnant young inmates, female inmates, that are due to deliver their baby. This is a 68-year-old attorney, and in this particular case, dealing with a 29-year-old female incarcerated prisoner who has a number of things going on in her life. The incarcerated 29-year-old who wants to, I'm sure, get out of jail for whatever reason she's in there. And also, she's pregnant. So not only is she in jail, but her pregnant baby is in jail. And she has issues or dealings with the baby's father. And now you have Ms. Hall, who's trying to pressure this young incarcerated female who's pregnant into giving her baby to this attorney. The other part that's questionable is, say all of that took place, and then what was the 68-year-old Jody Hall, the adoption attorney, going to do with this newborn infant? Was she going to take care of it? What are the systems and the streams of social services that Attorney Hall was going to do? If that female pregnant inmate gave her the baby, what was she going to do with the baby? This sounds so bizarre and so crazy. It almost makes me think that Attorney Hall must have some kind of mental issue. She's having these conversations and these dialogues over the inmate's tablet and on phone conversations where all of this is recorded. She is crossing the line of moral turpitude as an attorney and a professional. Miss Attorney Jody Hall at 68 is old enough to be at least this 29-year-old lady's female inmate's mother. So maybe she thinks with her intelligence, her degrees, her age, her being on the other side of the law, that she could just con and pressure this woman into giving her baby to this attorney through an $846 commissary payment. $846. The value of life is way more worth than $846. All of this sounds crazy, and if this attorney, Jody Hall, has been practicing for 30 years, 35 years, you would know that she clearly should understand that she has crossed the line from being a positive representative as an adoption attorney into some kind of extortionist, like she's in the mafia or something. I don't see this being a good situation for Attorney Jody Hall at all, and I am thankful under these allegations that Miss Hall got arrested. She went from being an attorney on the other side of the table and the other side of the jail to now her arrogance and hubris that she's committed by trying to pressure these female pregnant inmates into giving their babies up for less than $1,000. And now she's been booked into jail and has the potential to become an incarcerated inmate. What is happening to some of our professionals today? They are losing their minds. I've done any number of stories about lawyers that have killed their own kids. A woman out of Detroit, there was a judge and a lawyer who was married, got divorced, and he stabbed his wife. He was even a state senator in Ohio, and he ended up stabbing his wife over 40 to 50 times in front of their two young children. There's been innumerable amount of issues with lawyers and judges in the state of Oklahoma, and now you have this lawyer out of Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, who is trying to purchase young female pregnant incarcerated inmates' babies that haven't been born or newborn babies for less than $1,000, and pressuring them to the point of calling them liars, scammers, and drug addicts, all on a prison assigned tablet and on recorded phone conversations. What is going on in this world today? What are we doing? I mean, we have so many people losing their mind every second, every hour of every day. Tell me what you think about this case on this 68-year-old female lawyer, Jody Hall, who was an adoption attorney who has been caught with her hand in a cookie jar of trying to pressure young female pregnant incarcerated inmates for their babies before they're born, and what in the world was she going to do with them after they were born and after they were delivered and born. And then not only that, her agency that she claims that she had, the licensure for it had been suspended since 2019. She's not even supposed to be doing this under that auspices of this adoption agency. That's over 5 years. And she's got all these recorded messages of trying to extort this young pregnant female inmate out of her baby for less than $1,000. Tell me what you think. I know this is an 18-minute video, but you had to hear this. We have to keep our head on a swivel. Just because someone has a professional degree as a doctor, lawyer, judge, police chief, does not mean that just because on the outside it looks like they're professional and upstanding, but on the inside they could be full of demonic, diabolical, destructive chaos in trying to take advantage of less fortunate human beings. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience.